Hello dear all. So in this presentation we discuss phenomenological viewpoint given in Robert's philosophy. So what is phenomenological point of view? Phenomenology is meant as a study of that which exhibits or displays itself and how you look at phenomena or any incidents or things. So, phenomenology is made a study of that which exhibits or displays itself. So, it is self explanatory. The phenomena is itself self explanatory. So, let's understand what is phenomenology, its definition, and its concept. Phenomenology is the philosophical study of observed unusual people or events as they appear without any further study for explanation. Phenomenology is a way of thinking about ourselves. Instead of asking about what we really are, it focuses on phenomena or any incidents. Phenomenology, a philosophical movement originating in the 20th century, the primary objective of which is the direct investigation and description of phenomena as consciously experienced without theories about their causal explanation and as free as possible from unexamined preconceptions. So, phenomenology is the philosophical study of here in with respect to the field of homeopathy. It is the study of various events and various concepts in homeopathy, and especially the most important dynamic concept of homeopathy, and it is how it is related to the potentization. So, dynamic concept in homeopathy with respect to the cause of disease and also with respect to the potentization. So, the two aspects are explained in this Robert's philosophy in this chapter, that is phenomenological viewpoint. So, Oliver Reeser, Associate Professor of Philosophy, University of Pittsburgh, in his book Philosophy and the Concepts of Modern Science in 1935, says one possible method of integrating the vast and unwieldy masses of facts of sciences into meaningful wholes, the adoption of phenomenological viewpoint is recommended. By phenomenology is meant a study of that which exhibits or displays itself. It is the descriptive point of view obtained by viewing the things as a whole. So, homeopathy is always challenged about the understanding of the concept of vital energy and how homeopathic medicines are dynamic in nature and they don't contain any crude drug substance. So, here phenomenology comes to our help in the explanation of these concepts. So, these concepts in homeopathy, like the dynamic concept and potentizations, are very much important. They are the strength of homeopathy. This is the foundation of homeopathy. So, we are often challenged about the modus operandi of cure. What is the drug substance in our homeopathic remedies? So, phenomenology comes to our help in explaining these concepts. Phenomenology here it studies the structure of experience from perception of thought, intelligence, memory, imagination, motion, desire, and volition. Direct investigation and description of phenomena as consciously experienced without theories. So, it is the direct investigation and description of phenomena as consciously experienced without theories, without imaginations and speculation. So, we can take help of phenomenology with the help of thought, intelligence, and the explanation of the various concepts in homeopathy is possible. And this is possible without giving any theories and imagination. Uniformitarianism is a doctrine of uniformity which is discussed in this chapter. So, what is uniformitarian principle? It's the concept of natural laws and processes that operate in present day scientific observations have always operated in the universe in the past and apply everywhere in universe. So it's the concept of natural laws and processes that operate in present day scientific observations have operated in the universe in the past and apply everywhere in universe. So uniformitarianism is a doctrine of uniformity. So example is given that the theory that changes in Earth's crust during geological history have resulted from the action of continuous and uniform process. Its evolution is a slow process. So this is the example of the concept of uniformitarianism, and that's the doctrine of uniformity. So this can give you the explanation that Earth's shape is slow process of evolution, and opposite to this term is catastrophism, and this will give you the explanation that Earth shape is sudden. So we accept uniformitarianism, and this helps in the understanding of various concepts in homeopathy. As I told you, it is especially the dynamic concepts on which the homeopathy is based. So how uniformitarianism is present or can be correlated in the field of medicine. Research comment is, again we can take the example that overemphasis upon some ideas like cause of disease, action and effects of medicines leads to chaos and confusion. So the various explanations are being given for the dynamic concept of homeopathy, the concept of miasms as the fundamental cause of the chronic diseases. So here research the scientist comments that overemphasis upon some ideas like here cause of disease, the action and effects of medicines leads to chaos and confusion. So here what we should accept and understand is that these phenomena they exist, and hence we are going to accept these as these phenomena as phenomenological viewpoint, means they are self explanatory. We don't give explanations after explanations, and this may bring chaos and confusion. So uniformitarianism in this field of medicine in homeopathy helps to understand and accept the phenomena as they are. This causes mental strain upon the explanation of theories. So overemphasis causes mental strain, and it goes on explaining various theories. Medicine needs to consider the principle of uniformitarianism. So to avoid this chaos and confusion, we need to consider the principle of uniformitarianism. Homeopathy gives a theory, and not just theories but actual laws, which embrace and questions the cause of disease, course of disease, prognosis, how matching of remedies is done, the knowledge of the patient, that is his disease, knowledge of remedy, action of remedy, and prognosis. So, homeopath must be able to explain the phenomena. So, uniformitarianism in the field of medicine in homeopathy explains dynamism, concept of health, disease, and cure. They are based on the concept of dynamism, that is, the presence of vital energy. So, harmonious functioning of vital force is health. Dynamic derangement of vital force is disease, and we bring back this deranged vital force back to the normal is cure. So all of us know this. So here uniformitarianism, that is the doctrine of uniformity, is able to explain all these phenomena in homeopathy. The concept of minute dose and potentized dose completes the dynamic action in homeopathy, rather the phenomena of dynamism in homeopathy. So vital principle, as the name given after vital force by Dr. Hahnemann. So acceptance of homeopathy is possible with the acceptance of the concept of vital principle, as it can be based on phenomenological viewpoint. Medicine as a branch of medical therapeutics is materialistic, and there are specialists also. Means medical therapeutics is materialistic, means what? The crude drugs are given for the treatment of the various diseases, for the removal of pathology. But homeopathic concept is based on patient as a whole. Means what? We consider patient's mental symptoms as well as his general symptoms, which are very near to the man, and then the disturbance of this by the dynamic derangement of vital force has effect on the cells, tissues, and organs, and this causes development of pathology. So homeopathy considers patient as a whole, and pathology which is seen in the various tissues is the result of the disease which is prior to this. So, modern medicine, there are specialists, there is material cause of the disease. Disease is seen under microscope by various instruments and various investigations. But for a homeopath, the patient is whole from his mental symptoms, his general symptoms, and last comes the particular symptoms, which are particular symptoms are denoting about the pathology in organs. So uniformitarianism in homeopathy, we still continue our discussion that homeopathy should view all the findings now as a part of universal application of law and nothing else. So man is a part of universe and subject to its laws. Now let's see what is the further explanation, that universal energy is expressed in very modern terms as basic electrons, protons, neutrons, and everything is having the potential energy. Human being is susceptible to the certain influences of constructive and like constructive or destructive. So human being is affected by various stimuli. Man is influenced by various adverse stimuli. So research again gives the understanding as there are present dynamical laws and statistical laws. So they are again natural laws. So here we accept homeopathy as a part of the universal laws which governs various laws in homeopathy. So what are dynamical laws? They are causal laws. So there is rigid determination. Statistical laws, probability and indeterminism. So in calculation, here dynamic laws there is predictability. So let's understand further. It eliminates contingency and statistical laws are concerned with calculations. Dynamical laws visualizes mechanism of operation and statistical laws example is maintaining cause. Now let's understand this in very simple way that dynamical laws visualizes mechanism of operation. That is very important in homeopathy. So dynamical laws visualizes mechanism of operation of health and disease and as well as cure. Okay. And in statistical laws are concerned with the calculations. The and so any disease we see in the next slide about the example of maintaining cause. So physician may face error and while he is searching the cause of disease. Now let's see what is that error. So there is always balance between dynamical and statistical laws. If not, error in the application of homeopathic principles to our patients. So let's see the law of least action. All of us know this law of least action. On these homeopathic principles are postulated. So what is law of least action? For example, is that the quantity of action necessary to affect any change in nature is least possible. So the law of similars is the law of least action and the law of similars. Both laws process homeopathic principles and there should be less variation. So as there exist the laws, there should be less variation and there should be uniform results. Potency must be also same. It means that suppose we are treating case of typhoid. So there should be same potency given in both the cases. There should be same remedy given in both the cases. So but this is not seen. So there is a difference. So even though we are applying the law of similars, there is variation and we should be able to cause less and less variation. There should be uniform results, but it is not always the case. Homeopathy, we already saw it is the application of natural laws. So we may expect same length of action of potency. Because of this, everything should be same. That is, the remedy should be same. Say we are treating case of typhoid. The potency must be same. It must be given for same length of time. There must not be any variation in provings. But it is not the case. So it is exactly opposite the case. For two cases of typhoid, we require different remedy, different potency, and they get cured in different length of time. So why is this case? There is can be there often failure of results to the homeopath and it is due to the variation in living beings. So homeopathy there is application of natural laws but as expected everything is never the same means no remedy is same no potency is same the length of time the patient takes for recovery is not same. The causes or variations are there in the living beings. Each living being is having different susceptibility and different reactive power, and various factors are there. For example, hereditary tendencies are there. So each one is having family history and has inherited different tendencies to produce diseases. There are psychic forces, means everyone's the mental makeup is different. Mental or physical factors affect the life of person. So constitution is different, patient's mode of living is different, his diet is different, and most important, his susceptibility is different. So there is variation in remedial action. So most important, then we should remove the maintaining causes, that is they are statistical laws. Means suppose in physician while taking history he is ignoring the maintaining cause, then he may again get the failure. So physician should not miss this history of maintaining causes, he should take from the patient. So forces act on living beings in state of health and disease. Potentized remedies act on prover by producing symptoms. Forces are present in potentized medicines. Now we come to the what is there, what is the potential energy in our drugs and then our potentized medicines. So let's understand this. Effect of these forces produce symptoms. So every drug substance is having the potential energy. Health cannot be measured in quantity, and so the disease also. So it's a dynamical aspect. So already we have seen that the dynamical laws are there and they are able to give us the explanation about the concept of health, disease, cure, and also the dynamic energy or potential energy present in every drug substance. Chemical law is there. The velocity of reactions is equal to the driving force divided by the resistance. So we don't go into the explanation of the law, but this law helps us to understand the hidden energy which is present in every drug substance, which is aroused by potentization, and this energy is able to have effect on the patient as well as on the prover. Force and resistance cannot be measured. Symptoms are different in sick individuals, even of same disease. So that is the reason that two patients of same disease requires different remedies. Reactability of animal, vegetable and mineral drugs. So action of remedies is simple and single. So the reactability is always present in all these drug substances because of the potential energy, because of the potential energy present in these drug substance, and this energy is aroused by the method of potentization. Reactivity is a basis of potencies. Within the atoms of the drug substances, it has its own system like universe. So electrons, protons, neutrons are present in every atom of the drug substance. It's like universe with solar system, and this is phenomenological viewpoint in homeopathy. So we understand these dynamic laws of universe and they are present in the homeopathy, which by which we understand various phenomena in the homeopathy. So phenomena of drug proving, phenomena of action of these potentized remedies on patients. So this is phenomenological viewpoint in homeopathy. It means these phenomena are self explanatory and we accept this because it's because of the laws of universe, and laws of universe are the natural laws. Phenomenology explains all these concept of health, disease and cure, which is based on the dynamic law, which is based on the vital energy. So phenomenological viewpoint embraces our reasons for understanding problem of action of remedies and problem of potency. Now we are focusing on how to understand the explanation that our remedies are not containing any drug substance, still they are able to produce excellent cures. So here, as we see in the previous slides, the presence of the protons, neutrons, electrons in the atom of every drug substance, and this is the potential energy, and this is able to act on the vital energy of the patient. Homeopathic remedies are potentized, and this can be blocked in homeopathy and blocked for homeopath to give the explanation. But certain phenomena in the universe, that is man is a part of universe, so certain phenomena like health, disease are self-explanatory, and phenomenological viewpoint helps us to understand and accept this. Modern science, energy is automatically thrown off in proportion to weight of atoms. High atomic weights like radioactive elements give off their energy in high degrees. If the atomic weight is lower, then there is less radiation. It requires higher force to release the energy. So various examples are given, references are given in the physics and chemistry to explain these phenomena of potentization and the action of our remedies. For curative purpose, raw atom may not be useful because the energy which is there in these atoms is not coming into play. This energy comes into play when we break the atom to release the electric, electromagnetic and magnetic field in malleable form. Malleable form means it can be influenced or controlled for our purpose of using drugs with respect to time and effort. So during the process of potentization, the atom gets broken and the energy is released. So what is the value of trituration and succussion? It releases energy from atoms. Again, this is self-explanatory. This is the phenomenological viewpoint of homeopathy. So lime is present in crude form, produces rickets in children, and whereas potentized calcium in infinitesimal doses produces fantastic curative results. Vitamins in crude form are inert in nature, but if given in highly potentized form, their effect is raised. Energy is released from atom by various methods. Potentization means the intrinsic inbuilt energy from atom is released in the degrees. Very important statement. So what happens in potentization? Intrinsic inbuilt energy from atom is released in degrees, that is in the various intensity. Statistical law in drug proving, that is remedy is proved in lower potency but it is applicable in higher potency also. Homeopath is a scientist as well as artist. Potentization releases the energy. Solid drugs are triturated, liquid drugs are succussed. And in both the ways, the energy is released. Some drugs are always given, they give fixed symptoms, and that is a fixed law, that is statistical law. And then we can apply clinically. Neutrons are present in nucleus. They transform the nucleus. If neutrons break the nucleus with violence, then it produces several substances with smaller atomic weight. If neutrons break the nucleus with slow speed, then higher atomic weight substances are formed. So this is the which is given in chemistry. So reference is given. Homeopath, he has to understand these phenomena. He does potentization. So what happens? There is a breaking the character of elements. Relation of potentization to energy is released, and it is in the preparation of remedies. So energy is released while preparation of remedies. We can't predict the action of two drugs in combination at all because it is a different product. Two combination of two drugs is a different product. So they can be closely related, but the action is totally different and we cannot predict this. Combination of elements may not produce effective change. It is unquestionable that potentization causes change in atomic structure. We don't know. So that's a reference given, that is the possibility which is given for explaining the phenomena of potentization which brings cure. So reaction of these energies on individual molecular construction is not known, but this is predicted. These problems are beyond the scope of physician. So attempt is made to understand the references from physics and chemistry to understand various phenomena in homeopathy. So we take a phenomenological viewpoint and then we can understand all these processes. Again, example is given that selenium, if it is present near to surface of earth, then community health gets affected. So this is an observation. Uranium, if present on surface of earth, it caused aeroplane accidents. Patients have heart conditions more by exposing to high altitudes where cosmic rays are predominant. Remedies are also psychotic and syphilitic. So Dr. Robert has always also given the various elements which are having the different atomic weight, and he has classified as antisoric, antipsychotic and antisyphilitic. Now the problem of conception, growth, vital balance, and decay, that is the concept of the sickness, health, and cure, is affected by the growth, individuals, family history, tendencies, constitutions. Maintenance of normal development is restoration of vital energy, and that is balance. So all these are dynamic phenomena. Homeopathy may understand this by phenomenological viewpoint, and that's all. He understands the structure of universe. So structure of universe is in operation by under continuous laws. So dynamic concept is accepted by phenomenology. So attempt is made to explain this phenomenological viewpoint in homeopathy. Thank you.